I hear you guys down below in the comments. I do. You want more building videos. You want me to get back to going to builds. But there's been a reason why I haven't posted a Porsche video in quite a while. It's because we ran into a major issue with this car. And to be honest, it's held us up for almost a month now. If you don't remember this car, or you don't remember the last video we did on this, I don't blame you. So let me get you guys all caught up to speed. So 3 months ago, I purchased a 991.2 GT3 RS. The car was pretty destroyed and probably wasn't savable, but I was told that the engine and the transmission of the car were both still good. Some of the engine had broken casting, which was not a part of the plan. So we hired a specialist, we got everything fixed up. Then I found a 991.2 GT3 that came with no engine and no trans and some minor damage in the front. Originally, I was gonna keep the PDK transmission from the RS and auto convert the manual GT3, but you guys threw a fit, so we went ahead and we got the manual transmission from Porsche to replace that. It came brand new in box, so we went ahead and started making the swap to put the manual transmission into the car. So we continued building the process on the GT3 and everything was going according to plan. But as we were getting ready to put the engine and trans back into the GT3, we noticed that the manual transmission harness was cut. This was not a part of the plan, and sourcing that one little harness that was cut was proving to be way more difficult than what we imagined. And here's our big problem. When we were ready to put the engine inside of the car with the transmission attached, we were chasing the transmission harness, and Calvin was able to discover that this is the pigtail that goes through a grommet that goes underneath the car.
That goes through this one right here.
This is the pigtail that goes through this grommet, which then connects to all the transmission plugs. But we were graced with a gift. And that gift was not giving, it was actually very taking. Someone cut it in half and ripped it off of us. So we were actually able to order a pigtail harness from Porsche, which
They sell this?
Yeah, one of the major elite things of Porsche, which we try, if you go and try to find a manual transmission used for sale on this car, you can't do it because we tried to do it. We were very lucky in the fact that we were actually able to order this transmission from Porsche. Going to try to find a harness for this car in general, in manual, impossible. Tried to look at maybe other various models of Porsches, like a GTS manual or anything to try to find this harness, was also impossible. But then I reached out to Porsche and I said, what are the odds that maybe you sell a brand new transmission harness for this car? And they said, you know what? I'll do you one better. We actually sell a pigtail modified harness, is what they call it, for a transmission. And we were able to source.
You need to understand something. This is part of the entire car. And I took apart the GT3 RS. When a part of the harness, it's over. You can't just buy that.
Yeah.
You could technically OEM manual swap this car.
So we thought we'd have to replace the whole entire chassis harness, but they actually sell just the provision that goes to the manual transmission, which is only 11 wires or so, and then all this extra wires if you want to run it all the way back to the ECU, but we actually don't need to do that. And they include, go show it, Calv. They include the components necessary to solder and connect it yourself.
Crimpy boys, actually.
From Porsche, so that if you just want to replace this, you can. The reason why we're so hyped on that is that just doesn't exist anywhere else in our experience when it comes to OE replacement parts. They have the exact Band-Aid. It took a while for us to get, which is part of the reason why you haven't seen any episodes on this, is we've been waiting on this because it came from Germany. It took about 3 weeks to get here. But now all Calvin and I need to do is just take the correct measurement from how much is missing, connect it, solder it, and we'll be able to finally install the whole entire engine and transmission with all the plugs accounted for, which is the largest step of this whole entire build. So with that being said, it's time for us to do some modification, which you might be asking yourself, have Calvin or TJ ever modified an engine harness or a chassis harness to this degree?
One time before.
And it was on something even crazier.
Like 7 years ago, the Ferrari.
Calvin modified and fixed a whole entire cut off 50, 60 wire chassis harness. So we have done this, so this is cake.
Well, you know, some of those solder joints were probably cold, so don't tell the guy.
Let's get to work. This is wild.
This is fixed.
It even came with the grommet plug. I was thinking we'd have to order that or make one ourselves.
I
You found a spare one from the RS?
Yeah.
Wow. Ingenious, Calv.
But we don't need it.
Oh! We don't even need to guess how much wire we need to cut off because it's fixed.
That's what I'm saying. It goes where it goes because that's where it goes.
No way. That's so sick. Oh, look.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Here are the clips. You're going to need to get pliers for that. No shot. You're going to get your little fingies to get that out. No way. That is...
There it is.
Oh, he's great. Replace the zip tie one. You could follow all the way back and we'll be able to do an OEM replacement fix. Our new harness now fills all of the plugs that were left unanswered for on the back of the transmission. You have 1, 2, 3, and 4 right up in there. Can confirm this harness fits. The whole disaster of not having the plugs accounted for is here. Now we can go ahead and install it in the car. And now the moment we've all been waiting for. The RS engine is now going into the GT3. Everything is lined up. It honestly is just 4 bolts to get this to seat inside. So I'm carefully gonna lower the car onto the table, make sure everything is lined up, and we're gonna thread all the dowel points with all of our subframe points and try to bolt this thing up. From getting this engine out of the RS and fixing all of the cracked casting, all of the broken plastics around the car, all the fasteners that were destroyed, all of that work is finally coming into fruition right now, seeing this car lower itself onto the engine. I'm more excited about this table not having an engine on it than this engine being in the car.
Okay.
It's one of my favorite tables ever. I miss not having it. It's had this engine sitting on it for literally 60 days.
Has it been that long?
Yes, it's been 2 months.
Why are you counting? You don't do that.
Because everyone's like, what's the next video?
Well,
we're working
the answer
on it.
is...
We're getting our asses royally handed to us on this car. This whole entire engine and transmission is only held in by 4 nuts. We have a peg here, a peg there, and then 2 pegs off the transmission brace, and that's it. I have the most important job of them all. I could crush them.
You could kill him.
I can hold this lever just a little bit too long.
Oh my God, Pep.
Yeah, keep going.
This is hand tight. Are we ready?
Hey.
All right, big moment. Here we go. Yeah! Hell yeah!
All right.
Oh, that is so many hours and frustration and money and time. It's in. The table's free! Hey, screw the car, the table's free, baby! Now that the engine is back in the car and everything is all buttoned up and it finally looks good, it's not time to celebrate yet. Calvin connected as many of the wires as we could, but we are still left over with 4 wires from the chassis harness that we don't know where they go or what to do.
Here's what's gonna happen. Calvin and I are going to look at this wiring diagram right here, this schematic. We have every pin that we need from the DME to the chassis harness, and then we have the 4 sensors, 5 including the clutch neutral gear sensor. Where is it? The clutch sensor. This apparently goes to the front of the car where the clutch pedal is, and these 4 are attached to the transmission. We've gone through, if you look, everything highlighted in pink is what comes from the DME and correlates to our sensors. We've gone through and toned out everything that we can so far. There's a few discrepancies. These 2 pins do not exist on our connector.
So then why would they be on here? Because this is the wiring diagram for this car exactly.
So my understanding is, even though this is what comes up with the VIN when you search it, it's still somewhat relatively vague because it's only as specific as it can be and still be broad between GT3, potentially a convertible. Talk to my friend Jake, who's a lot more knowledgeable about this than I am.
Or like other models with manuals.
Correct. So it's like
That could be GTS, that could be...
Yeah, like this is not a base model schematic and this is not a base model car, but there's still variances between them, and all of these cars are still hand built. So there's going to be, no matter what, some discrepancies between them. So that's what we're finding is maybe this pin 59 might be bridged at some other point to some other ground in the DME or some other signal. What we're gonna do is we're gonna tone out every wire that we can reach that's cut right now that goes to our sensors. We're gonna tone it out and find where they actually go on the DME, which we've done. These blue dots do tone out exactly where they're supposed to be. So we're hoping that these pins that are missing are bridged somewhere else or come to a different pin in the DME.
Okay.
Now, if anyone watching this is a little bit confused and I don't understand what he's talking about,
Me.
Don't feel bad because we are on the same boat. But I'm learning, and that's what this is all about, is learning the process and trying to get better at it. So the next time it happens, you have a better understanding of it. So now let's go to the back of the car and find where our problem lies. Something cool that I noticed too while looking at the back of the GT3, this is a .2, so a 991.2, so the later year model. For the trunk, it uses these carbon risers. If you come to the back of my .1 RS, they're not carbon. They cheaped out. You probably could put those on that, but I thought that was really interesting. .1 doesn't come with all of the weight savings that .2 can. But what's interesting is this is an RS, which is the full carbon fiber option, but it doesn't come with that. And then when they went to .2, they made some improvements on both the GT cars, and then they ended up putting carbon fiber hinges.
On the GT3.
Not only the RS.
Not even on the RS.
And then, dude, look at the lockout.
Kind of sick.
I'm gonna spend the next 4 days here poking every single pin. Okay, maybe the next 2 seconds.
What does that mean?
It means we have continuity somewhere, and we expect it as such because it's a ground pin. A lot of ground pins are, that's right, class, connected.
So like I said, this harness is universal for many 911s, so we have to figure out how to wire it and see what we need to use to make it work. Stay tuned to the end of the video to see if we actually get this figured out, because in this exact moment, I don't know if we're gonna figure it out in today's episode, and that's just the harsh reality of this. At the moment, we are still stuck on wiring, so until we get someone that reaches out that can help us with that, we are going to go ahead and reinstall the whole entire rear subframe. Once the rear subframe is on, it will allow us to put all the suspension arms back on, then put the whole entire rear rotor assembly back on, and the brake assembly back on. And at least that's a little bit of progress right now, because what you guys can't see is that off camera, we're spending hours and hours. These two are spending hours and hours trying to figure out the wiring, and it's a very slow moving process. So we're gonna change the pace up, and we're gonna put the whole rear subframe back together.
Here, just do the thing so I could do this. You ready? That may be true, my finger might be better, but Dylan's finger is fully half capable.
Let's see. It's less.
Count it down.
2, 1.
It's still a lot.
Nice, dude. You got it. Okay, hold on.
I knew it.
It's now time for some spindles. Now I'm gonna go get me a spindle, and I'm gonna try to hold it up, and we'll see if anybody comes around to help me or if they let me drown.
This first.
On the GT3 RS, we had one good axle and one destroyed axle, so we have a brand new axle in box. Doesn't say if it's left or right, and I don't remember which one was left.
They're exactly the same. That's TJ. Do it, TJ. Oh, why did we?
It's like an engine.
Can you rotate this at all, Calvin, or no?
Probably.
It's not. Let him do it. It's not.
Hold on,
Oh,
let
it's
him-
over tightened.
I'm gonna lose. Rotate.
We're gonna tighten it later. Maybe we should tighten it.
Yep. Okay, I'll just hold it there. I'll try and get these like 3 over here.
I got no grip with all the oil on the floor. I got no grip. Look at my shoes. I got no grip. I got no grip.
No, not yet. What are you doing? Why are you gonna put?
You wanted anti-seize.
We'll put it in the hole. We'll put it in the hole, not the shaft.
That's like you trying to transport a quart of oil, but pouring it all over your hands first, and then walking across the shop and be like,
Think about how much more entertaining it would have been for the people.
no, let's put it here. Let's put anti-seize on it.
Put
Come
it.
on.
No, just put. Can we just put
I'm gonna get this on me and send it get everywhere.
the axle? The
Insert
axle.
in your
The
house.
axle.
Coming
The
this
axle.
way, coming this
The
way.
axle. The axle. What
about the
axle?
axle? You
The
wanted it-
axle. The axle. Can we
wanted
just
it-
put the axle in? Can we just put the axle in?
Do you not
Can we just
want
put-
this?
Can we just put the axle in?
You better change that behavior.
Yeah, sorry, Father.
All right, so you want it inside.
Oh, no.
Oh, he's doing the reach around. He's
Oh!
That's too much, TJ. That's way too much.
You want
Oh
it?
no, you gotta spread it now. You gotta spread it.
That's why I'm
Here, I
here.
got it. I'll do it.
You're. You did that so you don't have to be holding that anymore. Because now you can't touch anything.
You did this on purpose.
You did do this on purpose.
Oh, I don't like. Oh, I kind of like that.
Oh, damn, you're really good at that.
I didn't like it at first, but
It's a little.
like a weenie,
It's a
pal.
little brown.
I missed. I got on the side of the bottle.
I knew it. Okay, now I can't touch anything.
I know, that was the point. That's why you did that. You're not.
Dylan does the Haktua.
Haktua?
You do the Haktua?
Anthony says if she don't Haktua, I ain't gonna talk to her.
Exactly.
does he say that? Do you say that?
Yeah.
He has said it.
I have.
One further thought, we probably should have put the axle in before the spindle. Or, yeah.
Well, it's
been a
still
long week.
gonna be annoying.
Okay.
Hey,
Okay,
what is
all
happening?
right.
All right.
Hold it.
Someone's getting a punch in the face.
I got it.
Wait, you should be doing it. Stop. Just take it off completely. We gotta bolt this in.
What?
We're gonna bolt the axle in.
gonna bolt this in.
I wanted to point out that notice how when we're tightening all of the bushings for the spindle that we're raising it up. So we're tightening everything at the point on where the car is going to sit. The reason why we're doing this is because we don't want to cause any premature failure by over tightening the bushings at their droop. And then when it compresses, it could potentially rip or harm the bushings or in short just shorten its lifespan. That is something that Dylan has instilled in me and I thought I would share that with you guys. Now, after 3 months of seeing this car with nothing in this wheel well, it's time for the rotors and the calipers. There's not that many parts left to put on this Porsche, and one of the things that I'm dying to put on is this. Would I be the odd one out if I said that I like the GT3 wing more than the RS wing?
I'm 50-50.
What about you, Dylan?
I like this more.
I know, same.
I like this. No, just hold it.
Where are you holding it
I'm
from?
taking the hardware out.
Oh, I thought you were taking it from me.
We
I
both-
almost
we
let
both
go.
I would have pinched my fingers and held it.
Can you grab that side? Dylan! I just got a big hot flash. I hated it. It's good. Now this wing obviously is still a little bit damaged, and when this car goes to body and paint, we'll be able to get all this stuff fixed. So ignore that for now. That will be fixed, I promise. I was able to get this used bumper off of eBay, a brand new bumper, way too much. It was like 8 or 9 grand for a brand new plastic bumper. So I got this used one for a few grand. It does have some damages to it, but it's all pretty minor, and we can fix this when it goes to body and paint. That's kind of the moral of the story here.
Yeah, if the entire car goes to body and paint, it'd look much better.
God, it's super sick how you're helping us. I really appreciate it.
I really love it, actually.
It's super sick.
Kyle, can you do me a favor since you're small and short and tiny? Can you grab that bowl for me?
It's almost there, brother. It's
Sick.
almost there. It's almost there. Totally unnecessary, but I have to see it. It's
Totally
it's
necessary.
It's gonna keep me going.
No, that's not it.
Oh my god. I just got so motivated.
Oh, sick.
Oh my gosh.
Hell yeah.
It looks like the side's all
If it goes to
walked.
paint and body, it will look great.
What the hell? Is that the thing?
Don't worry, it's a bunch of different colors right now, but once it goes to body and paint, it won't be. I have a weird feeling that once we finish this, I'm not gonna want the .1, but I feel like the manual experience is gonna be so much more enjoyable than the PDK experience.
I think you're
Because you only really enjoy the PDK when you're on the track, and let's be honest, how much are we actually gonna track? Like, we'll track it, but it's gonna look way more on the street than the track.
I'm excited to drive an RS motor with a manual gearbox. Never been done before.
That's true. So we think, I don't know.
I mean, that's what an ST is, but like from like a Frankenstein, you know?
Dude, can you believe it? Look at that thing. Like we started this video, I know it's been a while since you guys have seen the .2, but I've been dying to work on this car. Lately, my excitement has really been Porsche stuff. I don't know why. I think it's just like, I don't want to say if it's just maturing in time, but I've just been through so many other cars that lately these cars have just like really grown on me. And I didn't always used to like them. I actually used to be, I wasn't a hater of Porsche, but I definitely wouldn't say I was a Porsche fan. I thought they were for old guys and old people and just for the grumpy old man, but it's been my absolute obsession, which is why I obviously got the 997 GT3. I'm not the most level-headed guy out there. I make some pretty rash decisions, and you guys have seen me do that throughout my whole entire life, but I don't plan on keeping both of these cars. One of these cars is gonna go at some point. They're just too similar of a car, and I know a lot of you guys are like, no, but one's automatic and one's manual. They're very different. For a day-to-day driving aspect, one 991 is enough, and I have to make the tough decision on figuring out which one it is that I do want to keep. I know that I want to enjoy the .2 manual, and right now, my excitement is leaning way more towards the .2 because of the manual gearbox rather than the .1. Although that .1 means the world to me because of the whole story behind it. Let me know down below in the comments what you guys would do. Would you guys keep the .1 RS or would you keep the .2 RS swap GT3 with the manual gearbox? When I say it like that, I feel like it's a loaded question, like most of you would choose the GT3. And I don't blame you, because once we're finished with this .1 GT3 and we have the interior, and I have a special plan up my sleeve for the seats. If you don't remember, I kept the seats out of the other GT3 RS that we bought, and I'm gonna reupholster them. I don't wanna give it away. I have something special. Currently, they're sitting in the back of the shop and they're green and they're beautiful, but I don't wanna have a Christmas tree or a watermelon spec, as you guys were saying in the comment section below. I don't wanna have a watermelon spec car. But I do have something up my sleeve that I'm very, very hyped for. But seeing this car all together brings a really big smile to my face because I know we're still a ways out. We still have to figure out this wiring issue and we still have to code the car to get it to turn on, which I'll explain in just a second, so sit tight. We're almost at the end of the line. This Porsche has honestly been kicking our ass more than I thought it would, just because we've been running into so many unforeseen issues that we didn't know we would run into. Normally, these rebuilds are supposed to be pretty quick, especially when they're stock. You just order everything new from factory and you're good. But we've been running into hidden surprises after hidden surprises with this .2, which has severely slowed us down. So I want to say to you guys, I apologize that I haven't been posting a lot of building videos. I hear you, I know that's what you guys want to see, and I take that to heart. I'm doing my best to get back to them. I'm going as fast as we can with this car, and we're almost there. I promise you guys, we're almost there. So we unfortunately don't have the wiring solved yet on this car. We're about 90 to 95% of the way figured out. Most of the things are wired up. We're still chasing a few different loose ends that we don't know where they go. And we've done as much outreach as we can with all the Porsche techs in the area. They've sent us a bunch of schematics. They've done a really helpful job, but coming up on Monday, we're gonna have a specialist come in to actually help us with this. So I'm hoping we'll have it solved in the next episode. In the meantime, as you can see, Dylan is putting oil in the engine. What we are going to do is we're going to attempt to key the car on. We're making sure that the wires that aren't solved yet are free and they're not touching anything, and we don't know what to expect. We're going to put the car into ignition mode and we're gonna see what error codes we get. Because probably some of you guys are wondering at home, if you don't know where some of the wires go, why don't you just turn the car on and see what fault codes you get? It's a really good idea, but here's the reason why we're a little bit hesitant. One, the thought of maybe frying something or turning the car on with wires exposed might harm a module or harm something. That was one fear, but I think we've determined that they're just signal wires. They're not actually sending 12 volts through it.
Haven't confirmed that.
Haven't confirmed that,
Sorry.
so there is a risk.
So that's why we're going to keep them. There's only two wires that we're worried about, and just so you know at home, it's a purple and a black wire. And they come from the front of the car, not from the DME plug. So it goes into everything and connects with everything. We've pinned one of them out to a DME plug. Our friend Jake, specialist, is going to come in on Monday, but until then, we have these two wires. One might be signal, one might provide 12 volts, we don't know. So we're just going to tape them up, separate them so they don't touch anything.
And we are going to attempt to turn the car on. Let me explain to you what might happen. So this car is actually utilizing the green GT3 RS ECU that came with this engine. Every other module in the car is from this GT3 manual, but our main computer thinks that it's a GT3 RS with a PDK transmission on it. So we don't quite know what's gonna happen when we even try to key on the car. Is the ECU, being a completely different car and wearing a different cloak, even gonna be able to communicate with the rest of the car? It should, because we do know that when we have our specialist come in on Monday with Jake, what's really neat about Porsche is the ECUs are just pieces of hardware. You can actually recode them to be whatever car you want it to be, at least in the 911 realm. So although we have a GT3 RS ECU, with the proper equipment and the proper softwares, you can recode this to make it think it's a .2 GT3. So we'll solve that issue, but today we don't know what's gonna happen. What's your guess, Dylan? What do you think's gonna happen?
I think it's not going to see some kind of like park or neutral safety sensor. And it's, I mean, Calvin, did we hook up the fuel? Okay. So,
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I think we might get a signal to crank the engine over.
That would be
But
exciting
don't
if we
think
heard that,
It's
honestly.
going to have ignition. I think we'll get a click or a engine rotating, but nothing else other than that. That's my guess.
Well, 92B 911 17-9 GT3. I appreciate your feedback. I do. Calvin,
That's my favorite brand.
what do you think is gonna happen?
I don't think you should start it. What the heck?
Yeah.
You don't want to know what's gonna happen?
Real big talk from a dude sitting over there.
If catastrophe happens,
Why
are
you-
you prepared to deal with the consequences of your actions?
Well, I guess Calvin represents probably some of you guys down below.
Calvin's just every naysayer comment ever. It's just you with different.
All those hate comments are just Calvin with just fake profile names.
With his 8 monitors in his bedroom.
He's on.
I've been there.
He's on live stream. He's on live. Kuya.Calvin. Kuya Calvin T.
When's the last time you
Twitch.
done that?
Twitch.tv/Kuya Calvin. Streaming every day. Check him out down below.
Links on screen.
Links on screen. Calvin's Twitch. He's on Twitch just live streaming, and he's literally just on all of his like 80 fake
Shit
accounts, just talking every video.
You want the battery plugged in? Are you ready for it?
Yeah.
This is what you want? I'll do it.
Stop saying it like that. Like it's like I'm the one that's deciding the fate if it blows up.
You are deciding the fate. That's the thing.
Cal, you plugged in the Matter Daddy, right? Matter Daddy, you probably plugged it in.
Did I hear someone say Matter Daddy over there?
What's the matter, Daddy?
Nothing. What's wrong with you, sugar?
Okay, because I want to kill.
If something goes wrong and Calvin's right, I'm deleting my YouTube channel.
Let's not start it.
You have that? Are we all clear on that?
Yep, let's
so
do
that
it,
way
let's
it's
do
a
it.
group to say everyone's
Let's
out of
do
a
it.
job. In other news,
Oh, that sounds good.
it's insane.
Oh, that sounds really good.
That's why to continue this conversation, like this manual gearbox is so satisfying. To drive this every day is like, I go to sleep every night and I think about, oh, I can't wait till I'm just shifting that into second gear. Cue back to that clip when I was in the 997 and I shift gears going from 1 to 2 and freaked out. That's gonna be me in this car. No!
This or the 997?
I don't know because I've never driven this car. I've driven a 992 GT3 Adams. It was amazing. Oh,
I heard that.
yeah, it's on.
Oh,
Speedo's like, nah, 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 nah.
oh my God, it has power.
Oh!
At least you know it'll sound much better.
Channels vary by subscription plan.
Hello, I'm James Corden.
We had this whole car apart, and you see it come to life right now. It's kind of sick. I'll try.
Oh,
Okay, no headlights.
No?
Running lights and corner.
What happened to the headlights? What'd they do?
it was just the running lights. It was the lines on the bumper.
Is it freaking out?
Just every warning.
Forever
everything.
false sensors.
Oh, the headlights working?
Yes. Well, that's just running. Yes, now your bulbs are on.
I'm gonna do it.
Start.
Yeah, do it.
I'm gonna do it.
But be ready to immediately turn it off.
I have to have my foot on the clutch, I'm sure. Nothing.
Cool. I'm okay with that.
But the key came out.
I'm okay with.
The
Yeah.
key's been stuck in there since we got it. You know what we can do right now?
What? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So when I bought all the stuff from Porsche, the dealership that we've been buying it from, shout out to Rob, by the way. Rob, if you're watching this, there's a specific gentleman who works at the Porsche dealership we've been ordering stuff through. His name is Rob. When I tell you he's been like literally our saving grace with this car, he's helped us. He's over delivered for his job. He's been so epic.
He is a text away. He's been like the coolest customer service ever for.
That's good.
Sick. That's cool. I like that.
That's what I love about Porsche, is you can do that. The UV purple has a purple one too. This key chain's probably like $50. So in the next episode, we are hopefully going to recode the ECU, figure out our last couple of wiring problems, and turn the key, and hopefully get the car started. And if we get the car started, there is no reason why we can't slap some wheels on this thing, take it for a drive. So stay tuned. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out, and keep moving forward.
Got him. Got him. Damn, you look kind of juiced though.
Say it's break time.
It's break time.
Come on.
Ready? I'm gonna snap your face. You're gonna say it's break time, right?
It's break time.
Who are you going?
Now it's both of you in frame.
It's break time.
Stop! You know what? I'll do it myself. Watch.
you got you.
I can reach
I
it.
got you. No, I got you. I'll do it. Ready?
Yeah, ready? This is what the excitement I'm looking for.
I got you. Ready?
It's break time.
It's break time. Break time. Yeah! Oh, damn! Break! Time!